Hi, my name is Tiffany Nicole, and this is my story. So, hello everyone. My name is Tiffany Nicole, and I just want to take some time and share, my story, my journey with you all. And this journey, this story may be a little hard to hear at times. Definitely maybe have some trigger words or phrases within this. And, it's very personal, but throughout the last 2 years, I've been through a lot. And, there's not as much about what I'm going through out and about, so I want to try to change that, change the stigma on what I've been going through, and just share with you, share with the world, share with whoever is willing to listen, what my life's been like the last 2 years in my journey, and the weaknesses and the strengths and the ups and the downs that I've had to deal with. But I want to, share that with you, and also, continue to take you along this journey with me. So I hope that, you take some time and you listen to this story or these stories, because it's probably going to be a very long but broken up, video series that I do on this. But I feel like, if I can at least share what I've been through, it may help someone else, and then there may be someone out there, that can help me to continue to stay strong and, push through and know that God's got a plan at the end of this journey, this storm. There's going to be a rainbow, and I believe that. So, thank you for watching, and stay tuned as I take you through the last 2 years of my life and what's to come ahead. So, as you may be able to tell from the title of this video, of this vlog, that we will be talking about pregnancy loss and miscarriages, and the journey that's within that process, before, during, and after. It's a lot, definitely, but I just want to share, just bits and pieces. I'm going to actually try to share everything, but again, this is going to be broken up within different videos. And as I was going through, thinking, okay, how do I want to do these videos? How do I want to do these vlogs? Do I want to start from the beginning, when I first got pregnant back at the end of 2021, or do I want to start from my most recent miscarriage, September 19th, 2023? There's been a lot between those dates as well that's happened, but it's just trying to figure out, do I start from the beginning, or do I start from where I just ended and then, take y'all back to the beginning? So I have decided that, we're going to start from where we are right now. And then, as I go through, I'll take y'all back to, how everything started. But I feel like, since I have recently went through a miscarriage, a pregnancy loss, that, I should kind of start from there. And because that's what started, me wanting to reach out to others and let them know, that they're not alone, that there's still hope, and, that if we can get a support group together, that we can, get through this, together, that you don't have to be going through this alone. There are people out there that, understand what you've gone through, that knows the heartache and the pain, and knows the trials and tribulations, and, the things that you go through. So I kind of want to, start with that, and, just let you kind of in on, what's recently happened with me. So, yeah. So I'll get to the story, of, my recent, miscarriages and my previous miscarriages. But I kind of want to start off with, the why. The why of me wanting to, start to share my story and, let people know, what I've been through over the last 2 years when it comes to pregnancy loss. Um, and, I just want, to just share that so that people understand, what my platform is about and what I'm trying to, accomplish by sharing my story. So, I have went through quite a few miscarriages, 5 to be total. I've had 3 miscarriages, where there was, obviously a baby, a heartbeat. I've had one blighted ovum, and I've also had one miscarriage where I had a positive pregnancy test, and then all of a sudden, about a week or 2 later, there was nothing there left. So I do still count that one. That's my 5th. But, it's hard. And, there's a lot of people that don't know that. Sorry, I'm outside in nature and there's stuff flying around. But it's hard. And, sometimes you feel like you're alone because, as you go through life, it's, you grow up. People are like, oh, you get married, and oh, when are you going to have children? And that is one of the worst questions I think you can ask somebody is, especially a woman. When are y'all going to have kids? When are you going to start having babies? You're getting old. You need to start having some children. And it's like, don't ask people that. Like, especially since I've been through all of this, it's like, that is one of the worst questions that a person can ask is, when are you going to have children? Oh, I can't wait for you to have children. Like, what do you think I'm doing? Like, I'm waiting. I can't wait. But, it's a process. And, growing up, people made it seem like it was so easy because I don't know about y'all, but when I grew up, one of my mama's biggest rules was, you get that talk of no sex before marriage. Don't have sex before marriage because you always associated sex equals pregnancy. So growing up, I know with my mom, she always said that, like, she'd be praying and she'd be like, Lord, I hope, I pray that my kids abstain from sex, drugs, and alcohol and things like that. But growing up in my mind, because I heard that all the time, it made me think, it's easy to get pregnant. You have sex one time, bam, you having a baby. But as you get older, you realize, nah, bruh, that ain't how that works. And you realize that, you really weren't, or let me change that. I know I really wasn't educated in the realm of how babies are actually conceived, what it takes to have a child. I honestly didn't. It took me till I got into my 20s. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm being honest. Like, it took me a while to realize that my period was associated to, how you get your cycle is associated to how you actually get pregnant and when you can get pregnant, and that your luteal phase is a thing. And like, I knew none of this until like I literally started like looking into it and tracking and all this. I'm like, oh, so you mean there's a certain part of your cycle that you can actually only get pregnant during this window? Like, I wasn't educated like that. So maybe I hope, like, there will be some educational part on that as we go along with these videos. But I'm just being honest, like, I was not raised with the education of, sex education and pregnancy and, how can you get pregnant? For me, all I knew was, like, if you have sex, you get pregnant. So in order for you not to get pregnant, you get put on birth control. Like, that was my realm of pregnancy and not being pregnant. Not knowing that when it was time and I was ready to have a child, that it would not be as easy as sex equals a baby. No. So I know, like, I'm all over the place. But, as, I've been through these last 2 years and I've had my multiple miscarriages, for me, it's different than a lot of other people. When it comes to pregnancy, because you have your different types of, infertilities when it comes to pregnancy and ways that people, end up with a pregnancy loss throughout their pregnancy. So for me, I was able to get pregnant, like, whenever me and my husband started trying. I got pregnant, not thinking that I would get pregnant the way that I did, but I never imagined, I never thought, it never crossed my mind that I had the ability to lose a child during my pregnancy. My older sister, has had multiple miscarriages. And I've had friends that have had multiple miscarriages and miscarriages as well, that have had pregnancy losses through, throughout their time trying to conceive. And so, but when it was my turn, I didn't think about that. Like, I never thought. My thoughts was, am I having a boy or girl? What color am I going to do the nursery? Oh my God, daycare is going to be expensive. Like, that was the stuff going through my head. And, with my first pregnancy, I miscarried right at 13 weeks. Right before, I think it was the day before 13 weeks. And the hardest thing was, and we'll talk about this later, is, what I went through that first pregnancy. It was rough. But when you're a female and you start hearing things and people are telling you stuff, we as females, like, we have a pain tolerance. If we go to the doctor and they tell us something, we're like, okay, you're the doctor. You're telling me that this is normal, so I'm going to go with it. So, like, I've had a lot going on within my pregnancies. And that first one was rough. Like I said, I miscarried at 13 weeks. And then I had what I would call was a miscarriage, which was about a month and a half, 2 months later, I had a positive pregnancy test. But then whenever we were going to get HCG levels checked, it was pretty much nothing there. And then July of 2022, I want to say it was July, I was pregnant again. But then when we went and do it's either 7 or 8 week ultrasound, I had a vita odum, which is a empty, like your sac is empty. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. And I will let y'all know that took a toll. That took a toll on me. My fourth one was this March of 2023. I miscarried at, I want to say 7. I think I went to the doctor 7 weeks, and baby had stopped growing. And no heartbeat. So that was my miscarriage earlier this year. And then got pregnant in June, end of June 2023. Felt great. I didn't have most of the signs that I had during my first one. I did end up having bleeding this time. I had bleeding my first one, and I also had bleeding this time. But people tell you, like, that could be normal. You're spotting, that can be normal. We'll go all into this, But unfortunately, right at my the date of my second trimester, the first day of my 14 weeks, I found out I had miscarried. That all my amniotic fluid was gone, and baby no longer had a heartbeat. So that's just a brief summary of, my miscarriages and what I've been through. But I really want to talk about why I want to share my story, because I really don't think I've really touched on that. So, but I do. I want to share it with y'all why I want to share my stories more in details, and, why I want to reach out to others that are going through similar situations. And please like, comment, and share this video, and my page and my Facebook page, Stay True and Never Lose Yourself Pregnancy and Infant Support Group. Please join in and, share your story. So like, share, comment,